Oh, why not ask a Derry man and also a Kerry man, Joe Bradley, of course, and Pat Spillane. Joe, there's no Paddy Bradley in the Derry jersey these days. That fact that I mentioned there, semi-finals over the last decade, just haven't worked out. What's the good news for Derry today?
Well, can you think of any? I'm struggling, you know. I think the good news is John Brennan, because, I mean, whenever Armagh, for the last 2 years, you know, adopted that very laborious game plan, you know, and were extremely defensive and all of that, things augured well for Derry. And then against Down in the first 15 minutes, they cast that off. Now, we may hope that that was accidental, kicking the ball in, but I think that there are two important things. One, Jamie Clark's arrival back into the team has immediately given them the motivation to kick the ball. And then you've got a couple of the Cross McGlen lads there who do that as par for the course. So I think although that first 15 minutes was accidental and not planned for, there's another factor now, which is that Oisin McConville's been working with the forwards. So, you know, you've got Armagh with all that physical strength and fitness and all of that, but on top of that, if you've got a game plan where they're kicking diagonal balls into danger men like Clark and McDonnell, it's going to make life very, very difficult for any team. I think that we'd be hoping that Armagh will come down from the great high, because, you know, they despise Down, and Down came in there as hot favourites. And, you know, there was a feeling like when Billy Joe Padden kicks 3 points, you know that there's a certain something in the air that night. And we'd be hoping that they'll have come well down from that, and that the game, you know, is a good competitive game. Because the one thing about Brennan is that the boys are finally playing with a bit of passion and a bit of stomach. But Armagh have better players than Derry at the moment, and
they've already choked one up, by the way, at Clonus. That's in the minor match, beating Fermanagh there 2-18, 2-7 points. Pat Spillane, this is the thing about Armagh. They got so many compliments after that victory over Down. They really looked like a good side. But the question is, as Joe said, is that the real Armagh?
Well, you know the old saying about one swallow doesn't make a summer, and one great performance doesn't necessarily mean the team has turned the corner. But certainly it was the best championship game of the year, there's no doubt about that, but that wouldn't have been difficult anyway. But remember, it was the only championship game thus far played between two Division 1 sides, so the standard was, you would expect to be that little bit higher. It was lovely football that night, because you saw two teams who set out their stall to play positive attacking football, to move the ball quick and long. And instead of having negativity and blanket defences and bodies back, we had, in Armagh's case, traditional old-style man-to-man marking. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you can get the better of your opponent, and if 15 fellas can get the better of their opponents, well, that's a simple way of winning.
That's pretty much what happened on the night. Joe, just can I mention, by the way, just want to give this little piece of information. There are two changes in that Derry team. One, I think you were expecting at full back there, and the other in the half-forward line. You have James Keat coming in, and also who else is coming in there? Kevin McGuckin.
Kevin McGuckin.
Well, Kevin McCloy had just drastically lost his confidence over the last.
I think full back.
You know, it's an awful pity, because what happened, Kevin, was he won an All-Star and deserved his All-Star, but just sort of withered in the spotlight then and lost all of his confidence, and has had a very poor year. And I'm sure it was a very distressing task for John Brennan, who's a club man of his own, to drop him for this game. But, you know, Derry really don't have a high-class man marker nowadays. You know, we don't have a Sean Martin Lockett or a Kieran McKeever, you know, and club football isn't what it was in Derry. Schools football isn't what it was. And I know that people dwell a lot in this sort of psychological disease of not having won 2 championship matches back to back since the year 2000. But, you know, there are other reasons for that as well. I mean, the changes, I think, are for the good. Certainly the Kevin McCloy changes for the good. I think that the Keelan O'Boyle situation, that must have been enforced. He must have injured himself at the last moment. But Derry it's a phony selection. Derry aren't going to turn out the way they're selected.
OK, let's head over to Clonus now for some further news on the Sam. Talking to Porg Lodge.
You're coming into this match as strong favourites. Would you be concerned that might put a little bit of extra pressure on the players today?
Well, I don't think we see ourselves as strong favourites. You know, I think every championship match is a 50-50 game, and you know, Derry have very good players. I've been continuously saying that for this past 3 weeks. You know, there are a lot of good players in Derry. They were very unlucky not to get promoted to the first division. So, you know, I don't see us as favourites. I think we really have performed very, very well today to win the game.
A lot has been made about Derry's poor record in Ulster semi-finals. Is that something the players are conscious of, or are you just trying to get them to blank it out?
Well, as I've said a number of times all week, it's like an old record. The needle is going fuzzy. I'm not into that. Unfortunately, it is history. It's a stat that is there, and today we are there to improve it.
And that's what the rival manager...
Derry, well, they have semi-final itis. They were last in the final in 2000. They've lost 7 semi-finals in that period of time. As Michael Friel gets his hands on the ball, first of all, then it's played forward by Joe Diver. Owen Bradley, absolutely brilliant. Donaghy marking him. Bradley with that traditional and familiar sidestep and a great block down from Brendan Donaghy. They call him the new Francie Bellew, and you can see why. That was a classic Francie sort of block at Derry, keeping the pressure on Armagh. They've got whatever win there is out there in the first half after they won the toss, and a free in and a chance for the opening score of the game.
Yeah, that's a wonderful block that time, it must be said, from Donaghy. A little bit of good pressure being exerted by the Derry attack that time, and I think Paul Hearty it was who came out and conceded an unnecessary trip.
Owen Bradley slotting that over the bar for the first point of the game inside the first minute. Micheál O'Rourke is their outman when they move it long. He's waiting on the Armagh half-forward line. Here's Mark Lynch. That's Vincent Martin in front of him. Lynch, that's a corker. Absolute peach of a point from Lynch. What a brilliant score. Derry go 3-2 in front.
Well, that score would adorn any game. Wonderful football, wonderful crossfield ball to him, and Lynch just does the simple thing, sees the opportunity, goes for it, has the confidence in his left foot. That's a great score.
Happy enough so far, I'd imagine, John Brennan, that his side are leading anyway, but a long way to go. Here's Charlie Vernon of Armagh, been allowed to travel a good distance with it. O'Rourke's got in behind. Micheál O'Rourke for Armagh, lovely score. He didn't score against Down, but he's put that to rights this afternoon in the Ulster semi-final. One of the O'Rourke clan, that famous O'Rourke clan of Armagh footballers, and he's a good one too. Huge kick from Hearty. Derry free. Taken by Muldoon. Here is Conleth Gilligan, way out the field. Owen Bradley. Donaghy gave him far too much space. There's a lovely point from Owen Bradley. And Donaghy, fine and all player that he is, he just cannot give Owen Bradley that sort of space. It runs in the family. If you do it, they will destroy you.
Yeah, but again, watch the pass that time from Gilligan. Armagh are finding it very difficult to pin down Owen Bradley.
Over the head of Billy Joe Patton. He hasn't seen a lot of it. Clark has seen plenty. Here's Dias. Here's Billy Joe Patton. Now goal chance here. McDonald. Good save by Devlin. Too many cooks, maybe. Dias didn't seem to have the confidence to take it on, and McDonald, by the time he got it, he was too close to Devlin. No wind at all. Conditions perfect. It's kind of close, but a very pleasant afternoon. There was some holding there. McKeever and Bradley's got a right foot too. That's a great score. Thankfully, we've been able to say that many times in the first 19 minutes. We've seen him do it on his left several times, and there's another one, but this time on the right. Here's Joe Diver getting away from Kieran Toner. Charlie Vernon has been the more dominant of the two Armagh midfielders, and that's a free out. Toner gone down injured. Derry man holding on to the ball.
Just watch the tackling here. Again, Mackin comes across with the arm, trying to dispossess him. Probably felt Joe Diver felt he should have got a free in there. He catches, I think catches Vernon, I think, on the face with his foot that time. Certainly caught him in the face with the foot, but you know, was it a stray foot just kind of flailing, or was it deliberately meant as a kick? I don't think it was deliberately meant as a kick.
You could see him say it was an accident. That's still a yellow card. Joe Diver had help from Gilligan if he needed it. Aaron Kernan going back and just dropping in front of Diver. Charlie Keelt. Mark Lynch. Sean Leo McGoldrick to his right. Owen Bradley is drifting further and further out the field for Derry. Getting away from Kieran McKeever. It's a brilliant sidestep from Bradley. Bradley gave that some welly. What's it going to be? It's going to be a point, and a great point. That's a fabulous score in the 28th minute from Owen Bradley, who can do no wrong so far today. 7-5 they lead. Again as the beating of Vincent Martin. Here come Derry again. Michael Bateson, Lynch. Surely Martin should have known he was going to swing in that way. But anyway, here he comes again. Lynch for Derry. Goal chance. Brilliant. A magic goal from Mark Lynch. He scored a magic point earlier on. And Derry very much in charge. They lead by double scores.
Well, Mark Lynch created that and he finished it. Also involved in that was Michael Bateson. But the off-the-ball movement that time was top class. The hand pass is done, executed with speed and with precision. But Lynch's shot, Lynch's finish from a difficult angle, brilliantly taken, showed great composure and beat Hirty at his near post. That's a great score for Derry.
Enda Muldoon of Derry, again they go in long. Bradley's in there, Hirty to Armagh, and around, and Gilligan with the shot. And Paul Hirty with the reflex save. That could have been serious. Tough day at the office for Vincent Martin. Mark Lynch is on fire. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He just scored 1 point against Fermanagh.
Yeah, but that's really lazy defending that time back here in Toner. He just jogs out after Mark Lynch, allows Mark Lynch to get the ball uncontested. And Lynch is playing so well today, his confidence is so high, just takes a look at the post and puts Parker to Stephen McDonnell.
Their last score was in the 21st minute. Stevie McDonnell, there's no wind, and that's nicely done. Important.
Yeah, that's the first score in about, I should say, about 15 minutes. Long time to be without a score, and not alone they haven't had a score, but they have had very few attacking opportunities in that.
Is indeed Derry 1-8, Armagh 6 points. Joe Bradley, Pat Spillane with me in studio. Joe, it's all good so far for Derry.
I was saying beforehand, you know, that I thought that Armagh's performance against Down, you know, it was an accidental game plan. You know, Clark got the early goal and they got their tails up. And what has happened is that John just cures the psychological problems of also Rans. And what you're seeing
is John Brennan, the Derry manager.
John Brennan. So, I mean, Derry are typically adventurous. You know, I said beforehand, you know, we have 13 attackers. Well, actually, we have 12 attackers on the field now. But they're attacking forward well. And Derry's system is working well. Enda Muldoon's coming back as the quarterback. And the ball's being moved quickly. Armagh have reverted to type after the first 10 minutes. They reverted to type and they're back to that laborious, slow build-up. I mean, Jamie Clark and Steve McDonald might as well not be there. The ball hasn't gone in. He has taken, I mean, Paddy O'Rourke, in my view, is a poor manager, you know, and I've said it in the programme before and all of that, but I just think that he can't react to things on the day. And I mean, a championship manager, it's all well and good having a lot of good coaches and all that, but reacting to things on the day is vital. And now what he's done is he's brought Kieran McKeever, a centre half back and creative player, back into the full back line to Mark Owen Bradley. He's got Billy Joe Padden at number 11, who's got no creativity as a footballer. The problem is that Clark and McDonnell are being starved. Derry will be delighted at half-time and they're playing with confidence, which is a hallmark of Brennan's teams, and it's the way the Derry team have played all year.
Armagh are 5 points down, but is Paddy O'Rourke a bad manager?
Oh, God save us, no. I mean, you can't make that decision after that judgment after half an hour
of
a game.
I'm not talking about this half an hour. I'm just saying in general, I don't rate him as a manager.
I just say, I've enjoyed that half. It's been a good, enjoyable, entertaining game of positive attacking football as the way Gaelic football should be played. What's often levelled at us is that we're negative and we're cynical and we're critical. We're only reflecting what we see on the field of play, and that's what we've seen from most of the matches this year. What we're seeing there is two teams who have a belief in their ability, and you go back to the psychological. When all these managers are using these blanket defences and the safety-first tactics, it's instilling a self-doubt and fear into players. And fear inhibits them from playing. So with John Brennan there today, with the way Armagh are set up, it's positive.
But Derry are playing a sweeper, Pat.
Yeah,
Derry are playing a sweeper.
They're playing positive, attacking football. They're moving the ball quick and long, and they're believing that they can beat Armagh, and that's the way they're playing.
And they're getting some lovely scores out of it as well. I mean, Mark Lynch was playing very well. Owen Bradley has been scoring some great scores, as you would expect from Owen.
It's lovely to highlight. I highlighted some absolutely fantastic forward play from Wexford last weekend, and highlighting again some beautiful forward play here. Quick ball, long range points, dummies onto right. Now, Vincent Martin did give him good space, but this is a fantastic fantastic. 40-45 metre free. Now, the quality of the ball coming into Owen Bradley.
But Armagh and Tyrone have dominated Ulster over the last, 12 years. They've shared out the Ulster titles in that period. Charlie Vernon for Armagh. Padden lets it off. They're in here. Here's Micheál O'Rourke for Armagh. What a fantastic start. 14 seconds on the watch. We had a feeling they'd get a goal, but we thought it would be Jamie Clark. But Micheál O'Rourke in, and what a start to the second half for Armagh. Now only 2 back.
Interesting the switch that Armagh made at the beginning of the second half. They put Willie Joe Padden in at full forward. He wins that ball, but a lovely run by Stephen McDonald. Beautiful angle taken, and O'Rourke keeps his head, keeps the ball down, and gives Armagh the perfect start to the beginning of the second half. Great goal.
Quite a shock for Derry. Dominating again around the middle. They've 11 players in this Derry team who are 6 foot or over. Here's Charlie Keele for Derry. Steadies down, shoots. Has he got it? Yes, he has. This is a fabulous game. First score after the shock of the goal comes for John Brennan's team. No way through there. Well done, Kevin McGuckin. And now it's Joe Diver for Derry. James Keelt. Just direct football, and Mallon was switched on, and he's out of the game as Bradley bears down on goal. Bradley! Oh, what a goal! What a stunning goal from Owen Bradley. He waited and waited. Hirty went down, and the most delicate of chips over one of the biggest goalkeepers in inter-county football.
It's absolutely beautiful. This guy is really unsung, getting an exhibition of forward play. The suggestion I made a couple of moments ago was taken up by the Armagh management. Mallon again was exposed in a one-to-one situation, just as McKeever had been earlier. And just watch the composure that Bradley holds here. Just a little dink over the top of Hirty as Hirty went down.
Diver may have been helped or eased out of the way. James Lavery free to Armagh. Aaron Kernan wants to get on with it. There's some pushing afterwards. Ball moved forward as a result. That's Brian Mallon. Aaron Kernan with the free in towards McDonald. He's caught it. McDonald with a chance over the bar. Goal was on his mind. What a fabulous delivery into it. Inch perfect. Vernon has a free man outside him, James Lavery. Lavery finally spotted, steadies down, steps inside. Here's Charlie Vernon for Armagh. Good score, really good score for Armagh. They're not gone yet by any manner of means, and that's better from Paddy O'Rourke.
Yes, just halfway through the half and 4 points in it, but a very patient, well-worked score that time from Vernon.
Breaks well for Armagh. And did so again, Vernon. Stevie McDonald. Here's Tony Kernan. Clark is in close to go, but it's McDonald. Goal chance! Good stop by Devlin. A really fine save. He was a good distance off his line, Danny Devlin. But you would have fancied McDonald to score from there. Here we go again. Direct to Mark Lynch. Screaming for it is Conleth Gilligan. He's been spotted. Bradley is in close to goal. Gilligan for Derry. Conleth Gilligan! Their third goal. And is that going to be enough? A quarter of an hour remaining. They're closing in on their first Ulster final appearance in 11 years. What a fantastic goal. We've seen several of them today. Derry's third, 3-11 to 110.
And what a counter-attack. Just watch the sequence of play here. McDonald a great chance, difficult enough angle, but Devlin has to take credit for the save. Ball swept up the field. Just watch Conleth Gilligan again. Goes to the near post this time again. A great ball into the roof of the net. Wonderful score for Derry.
Derry converting 17 out of 30 scoring chances. Armagh just 12 and a 19. That in its own way tells a huge part of this story. What's been a fantastic story for Derry as they make it back to the biggest game in Ulster football for the first time in 11 years.
Yeah, credit them again, a victory for pace and imagination, but overall it was a game where Derry displayed pride, passion and a willingness to win.
First of all, congratulations to Derry. I have to say, most people would have tipped Armagh going into this. I suspect you might have thought they would get through themselves, but that was an excellent display by Derry.
Well, this is John Brennan. You know, he creates happy, confident teams. He's done it wherever he has gone. I told you, 7 county titles in 3 different counties, always in the first year when he arrives. And you know, it was a sideline slaughter today. I mean, Paddy